Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eastwood for Life fan here, back with another monthly update, and it's movie pickups update for the month of January 2022. Not the biggest stack, but after the Christmas break, one can be a little bit short on cash flow, but yeah, got a few items in CDs, a DVD, Blu-ray and some 4K titles. Quickly just show off the CDs, which were part of a trade package with my good buddy Jeff at 101 Bronson, and 3 CD movie soundtracks from a trade package, which I did do a video of, and I'll just briefly show these off for those who might not have seen that trade package video. And this is the CD soundtrack to the Sergio Sollima, Lee Van Cleef spaghetti western, The Big Gun Down, the Ennio Morricone soundtrack, put out by GDM, an Italian label. Also received the Great Silence, one of Corbucci's greatest spaghetti westerns that were ever made. Another great soundtrack by the legendary Ennio Morricone. And the last spaghetti western soundtrack was this one, starring Thomas Milian and Orson Welles in Tepepa. So 3 great movie soundtracks by the man Ennio Morricone. So to the only DVD that I picked up, and this was also part of the trade package, a Dutch release of Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World, starring Russell Crowe. This was a spare copy that Jeff had, and it's a Russell Crowe movie that I have never seen before, directed by Peter Weir, who directed that great movie starring Harrison Ford, Witness. So yeah, there's probably a chance that if I do enjoy this epic and adventure movie, that I might upgrade this one to Blu-ray. So to the Blu-rays, and I'm really enjoying my Denzel Washington movies, and these 4 are movies from his career. This one being an early one, early Spike Lee movie. This one, Mo Better Blues, where Denzel Washington, he plays this talented trumpet player. This is a movie that I've seen bits of, but not in full. I do know that Wesley Snipes and also Samuel L. Jackson appear in this movie, but yeah, I was a fan of the movies directed by Spike Lee, and he's also in this movie, also a Spike Lee joint, Mo Better Blues. This one's been missing from my collection, Crimson Tide, directed by Tony Scott. I do have all of the other 4, I think it was 5 movies that Tony Scott directed with Denzel Washington. They did do a remake of the Taken, of Pelham 123, Deja Vu, Man on Fire, and the train action movie Unstoppable. So yeah, this was the last one I needed. Yeah, they made 5 movies together. Pretty good cast in this one. You also have James Gandolfini and also Viggo Mortensen, but of course the main feature is Gene Hackman with Denzel Washington. 2 great actors in a movie together in this action drama movie, Crimson Tide. The next movie can be called a kind of Seven rip-off, because after the success of the Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman movie, Seven, they released this movie a few years later, The Bone Collector, starring Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. And I actually like this movie, this one, where Denzel Washington, he plays this ex-cop who's bedbound, paralysed after a accident, and with his expertise, help, and a newly recruited officer played by Angelina Jolie, they go after a serial killer. But really good movie, this one. And also I think it's Michael Rooker, he was in this movie as well. But yeah, kind of underrated one because it came after the success of the Seven movie. And the next movie is what I consider a top 10 Denzel Washington movie, which I think is only available in the US. This is The Hurricane, where a wrongly convicted middleweight fighter, Reuben Hurricane Carter, he gets convicted of I think it's a triple murder back in the 1960s, and Denzel Washington, for my money, he deserved the Oscar for this. I think he got the Golden Globe Best Actor, but what a performance, this movie, The Hurricane. And definitely needs a worldwide release in many of the countries around the world. Still not available in the UK on Blu-ray, but a great movie, this one, The Hurricane. The next two movies are Jackie Chan movies, and another epic release put out by 88 Films. This is the action and adventure movie Armour of God. This one from the mid 1980s, I think it was 1986, starring Jackie Chan, and this is the limited collector's edition with stacks and stacks of features. And for my money, 88 Films are one of the best companies out there for putting value for money releases. So we'll have a look at this edition briefly. I do love that artwork of this release, and this is the slip box, and this is the back of the slip box for Armour of God. And with this release you get the alternative artwork, and I've gone for the Hong Kong Asian cover, and you get two cuts of Armour of God. You get the Hong Kong cut as well as the American or US or international cut, which is nice to have, two different editions. Probably the extended cut would be the Hong Kong cut, and you also get a booklet as well as some movie cards. And these some high quality movie cards, and the movie itself, it's kind of like a Hong Kong Raiders of the Lost Ark action and adventure movie starring Jackie Chan. And obviously after the success of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies and Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, there were a lot of these action and adventure rip-offs, but this one's a fun one for the Asian cinema, and a lot of fans around worldwide enjoyed these movies, which actually was a film that Jackie Chan almost died doing a crazy stunt. So it's great movie cards, and you get this high quality booklet. And yeah, 1986, when this movie came out, it actually was the highest grossing film for 1986 in Hong Kong. I do need to pick up the second movie, which is Operation Condor, or sometimes known as Armour of God 2. And Jackie Chan plays Asian Hawk, a former musician who kind of turns into a treasure hunter, and he goes to Europe on the trail of some treasure in this action and comedy movie. and some great facts and pictures in this fantastic release from 88 Films. Really putting out some great Asian cinema releases, and you also get a poster with this edition also. So there you have it, Armour of God from 88 Films, the limited collector's edition. As far as I know, it's still available. It's not out of print yet, but yeah, fine release, and these editions do eventually sell out with stacks of features. So yeah, another great movie released from Jackie Chan's movie career. And the second Jackie Chan movie, The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son. Yeah, kind of a different spin on it. A single mother and her son. They moved to China rather than in the US. But yeah, it's obviously not as good as the original movie with Ralph Macchio and Pat Moriarty. But yeah, it's a fun one, The Karate Kid. Next three movies are German releases that were part of that trade package, which I'll briefly show. The Killer Elite, starring James Caan and Robert Duvall, Sam Peckinpah, crime action movie from the 70s. One that I've been after for a while. And then the next one, comedy with Sly Stallone and Dolly Parton, Rhinestone, where Dolly Parton is this country music star where she has to turn New York cabbie, played by Sly Stallone, into a singing sensation for a bet. Yeah, as silly as it is, it's okay, but it's definitely not one of Stallone's greatest movie roles that he was known for. And the last one is Jamie Lee Curtis in Blue Steel. Very underrated cop thriller, this one. Also starring Ron Silver. Yeah, good. Finally got this movie, Blue Steel. Still no UK or US release of this movie. And yeah, a German Studio Canal release. And the next load of movies are 4K titles. Really been getting into my superhero movies, Marvel and DC. Decided to pick up the Spider-Man movies starring Tobey Maguire from the early 2000s. This one being the original, directed by Sam Raimi. And this one, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he goes up against the Green Goblin. Always like these Marvel movies where the story begins with the original origins of how they became a superhero. But yeah, probably my favourite all-time Spider-Man movie, this one from 2002. Had a lot of fun revisiting this one. And then with that, they made the sequel 2 years later, Spider-Man 2. This one, Spider-Man, he battles against the scientist Dr. Otto Octopus, or Dr. Octavius. I think a lot of people actually consider this one the better one out of the three with Tobey Maguire, but great sequel this one, Spider-Man 2. And then Spider-Man 3, where Peter Parker struggles to maintain a balance of life, battling against crime and his relationship with Mary Jane. It's kind of three different storylines with this one, because you've got the new Goblin in this one, also the Sandman, and also Venom. But yeah, really, I enjoyed the Sandman villain in this one. But all three movies are great Marvel movies starring Tobey Maguire, which I really enjoyed revisiting this trilogy. And the last superhero movie is from DC, Batman Returns. I eventually do want to pick up Batman Forever and Batman and Robin to complete the collection. This one from Tim Burton, actually not bad. It's actually the last two movies I didn't really enjoy, where kind of were poor, not very good DC movies, but Batman movies. But this one I enjoyed, where he goes up against the Penguin, played by Danny DeVito, and you also get Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. And the next movie is a German 4K media book of The Running Man, and this release has actually been out for a couple of months, and I kind of toyed or thought about picking this one up, but wasn't 100% sure, but glad I did, because price wise it's pretty reasonable. I think it's around about the €30 mark, and it does have a 4K and Blu-ray discs in this release, but an excellent release put out by Germany. I really do like the media book. Big fan of The Running Man, directed by Paul Michael Glaser from the Starsky and Hutch TV series. A Arnie movie that I always enjoyed watching. Actually one that I've watched in my local cinema. I love the heroes that Arnie, Ben Richards, goes up against. Dynamo, Buzzsaw. As far as I know, this release is still available on Amazon Germany. I'll be back, but only in a rerun. I also do have, there's Ben Richards himself. I also do have the Zavvi, the UK Zavvi Blu-ray Steelbook Collector's release, which I will still keep. But I am a big fan of this movie, The Running Man. A sci-fi action movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, guys, if you do love this movie, definitely do pick this one up, because it's a pretty thick media book, slightly thicker than the Blu-ray ones, and it obviously has a English audio. And another 80s classic on 4K. This is my personal favourite Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing, the limited collector's steelbook from Zavvi. I know they did. I was thinking about picking up the Criterion collector's release, but I do like my favourite movies in the best transfer possible, and take this J card off to show the back. You get the love-hate kind of theme to the movie, set in the district in Brooklyn, and tensions rise in the community with Italians, African American, Hispanics and Asian cultures. But yeah, great movie this one, Do the Right Thing, and what a great cast you have in this movie. You also get Danny Aiello, Spike Lee, even Samuel L. Jackson pops up in this as the DJ. But yeah, great movie this one, Do the Right Thing, and definitely wanted this one added to the collection. And the last movie, which I guess a lot of people would have picked up, Halloween Kills, the second movie in the new Halloween trilogy franchise. And yeah, I mean it's got its good points and bad points to the movie, but it's okay. It's kind of more of a filler that really he kind of builds up to the next movie, Halloween Ends. Yeah, I would have preferred to have seen more of Jamie Lee Curtis in this second movie, but I guess the confrontation will come ahead in the final movie. They could have done 2 different bits of artwork for the discs, but yeah, there is Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Halloween Kills, and this is the Zavvi steelbook, and you get a picture of Michael Myers there. Brutal, very brutal kills in this one, which I did watch at my local cinema, and this one actually has a alternative ending, a slightly extended, 2 versions of the movie. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the final movie, Halloween Ends, which I guess will be out in October. So guys, that's all I picked up in January, and a few items that were sent to us in the trade package from my good buddy Jeff 101 Bronson. Let us know what you think of all the movie related items I picked up in this update. Hope all is well, buddies out there. So take care, and as always, stay healthy and keep on collecting. Till the next video.
Go ahead, make my day.